and how serious this situation is at a time where pretty much 99% of you watching this don't understand because all you see is the value of gold going up and you may be buying it right now, but I think you may be setting yourself up for a trap, even if the price was to double from here. I know that in and of itself may sound crazy, but there are some hidden truths about the gold market. And this video comes on the heels of Jamie Dimon making a pretty profound statement that shocked the world, actually, when he talked about, hey, the price of gold can go to $5,000 or even $10,000 in a time like this. His actually words, in an environment like this. This is one of the few times in my life it seems rational to have some in your portfolio. Why is that? Because Jamie Dimon knows, and I know what most people don't. And I know this is going to sound counterintuitive because I talked about this 3.5 years ago where I told everybody it's time to buy gold. It's time to buy silver. And now you've seen the price of gold pretty much triple. And you've seen the price of silver over triple. And that's really exciting. But now there's a point where the music stops playing. And I'm going to talk about the government. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to raise the price pretty soon on the tax lien course. If you want that, links down below. If you pay attention, you watch the course, and you do what I show you, how to make money in real estate with as little as like $300, it will change your life. If it doesn't, watch less than half of it over a 14-day period and go, you know what, Ninja, I want my money back. I'll give you your money back. All right. So links down below to that. All right. Now, Jamie Dimon also said something else that's really important. He said, I'm not a gold buyer. It costs 4% to own it. If you want to be wealthy, you have to start thinking and acting and replicating wealthy people. All right? Wealthy people don't take gold coins and stash it under dig a hole in their backyard and stash it back there. However, you've got to start somewhere, right? And that's where I started this channel. Why? By teaching people how to own things that wealthy people have. And that is stuff that's in the ground. Precious metals, real estate, oil, water, things like that. That's how you become wealthy. But as you the wealth starts to stack up, you start to consider things like storage costs, like rates of return, things like that. And the truth is that and you probably noticed that I haven't talked about going out and buying gold, use my referral link, right? The reason why I haven't talked about that in about a year is because I gave you prices at which I would stop buying precious metals and I would move into a market that's depressed. And the crypto market is depressed. I know it sounds crazy because Bitcoin's sitting at 110, 112,000, whatever it is. But because Bitcoin has only a certain supply, and that is proven on a very easy, it's a very easy way to figure it out. Gold is not. And what you're seeing right now is there is no retail buyers in the gold market right now. Every single company that I know the owners of personally, I've talked to, and they have plenty of gold and they've got plenty of silver. There is no mania. What's happening is the price is being run up. And check this out. I'm going to show you this. This is really important to know. This is where you start getting very, very concerned. When you start seeing the price of anything have a blow off top, let me do the APMEX chart. This is really important to note. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Let's go to all. This is a chart of gold from 1995 till now. All right. Let's pull this up. Here we go. All right. 1995. We see it cruising up. Nice little top right here, plateau, and it comes down. What you can't see, there you go. Right here at the last year or two, come on now, is this parabolic straight up move. Now, just like, what was it, Albert Einstein? For every reaction is an equal and opposite reaction. That's right, the way I say it. I didn't do well in school. It happens with everything. And retail is not there. Now, I saw something interesting from a podcast of these young millennials, and I'm seeing the younger side of the millennial generation, and they said that gold is becoming really attractive to investors their age. So young people are starting to buy it. And you know what they quoted? Yeah, they've noticed that over the last few years, it's going up. So you're seeing a certain segment of the population. Obviously, they're getting older, and you get a little bit wiser as you take your licks and you understand more and more things from good examples and bad examples. But because the price is going up, they're starting to move into it a little bit. That's not the reason why you buy good investments. People like Jamie Dimon and other people buy things when people don't understand them, when the price hasn't hit its true peak, because you have the least amount of people understanding the asset class. So they buy and they get excited when things go down because they buy more of it. They want to take over. Like my goal is to own good percentages of certain markets. And very few people look at that. All they care about is the price. So there's another story I wanted to go over with you right now. And it says that gold is now more overbought than the 1980 upside panic. Okay. This is really important to understand. And I'm not telling you to go sell your gold, because that's the scary thing. When a retail investor, the first thing they ask me in the comment section or when I see them public, do you think I should sell my gold? I'm like, man, you are so far off of understanding wealth creation. It's insane. You see, that's all they care about is the price. And it's like, usually it's because that's all they got their money in. They're all in. This is insane. If you want to become wealthy, have multiple baskets of investments, right? Between 5 and 7, it's like the span of control in the fire service. Then when one goes up, you take some of the profits off of that and you allocate into the next one. Just because you're done with this basket doesn't mean you sell it all. And then what happens is these baskets get bigger and bigger and bigger. Check this out. Momentum in gold is beyond impressive. Again, that's price. As we have pointed out for weeks now, the current breakout has a lot of similarities to the breakout we saw earlier this year. The move saw gold gain like 28% before we paused. So it says here, parabolic. The gold has basically gone parabolic when zooming out a bit. That's exactly the chart I showed you. When you pull it back 35 years, you go, oh my gosh, the last 8 months or 12 months is stupid. And I'm going to be honest with you. Type 1 if you believe the gold can go to 5,000 here pretty quick. I would be typing 1. I believe that you're going to see gold at $5,000. But I put a post on X that in 2026, you're going to see the price of gold fall. I'm going to explain that why in just a second. It says the RSI right now is at 92. Gold's monthly RSI at more overbought levels than during the 1980 upside panic. And you all remember what happened. If you go look at the charts, many of you may not have been around or investing. I wasn't buying gold in 1980. It says the monthly RSI at 92 is something you don't often see. All right. It says let's see here. Gold has absolutely crushed Bitcoin year to date. Now, remember that right now, and I was online. Hey, yes or no? Did you hear somebody, I wouldn't even say attacking me. They just had zero basis, so they raised their voice and started interrupting me online the other night. When I was talking about the coming fall in the gold prices, talking about these short-term swings in sentiment and what you're about to experience when the markets figure out where unemployment truly is and how it's going to rise. And you're going to see the gold trade flop, right? This is also a buy the rumor, sell the news situation where it's saying gold's going up because everyone's expecting rates to go down. Rates don't go down unless things are bad. Do me a favor. Type 10 if you agree with that. Gold, dude, when interest rates start going down, that means things go bad. Unemployment is up. The recession is here. It's officially being announced. We're already there. The only thing holding the stock market up right now is AI stocks. It's just a narrative. That's all it is. It's just the hopium. The second the masses go, things are bad. I need money. Where's the easiest place to pull money? My 401k. Take a loan against it or pull money out or stop putting so much in. You see the entire house of cards come falling down. And that's all it is a house of cards. If you lived through the .com crash, which I did as an investor, if you lived through the Great Recession as an investor, if you lived through COVID as an investor, I get a lot of you might be sitting on the sidelines like, oh, I was still alive. Yeah, cool. Did you have real skin in the game? If you didn't, you don't get it. And I want you to understand it now so you don't have to make the same mistakes so many of us made in those three corrections. I want your money growing and not losing. All right. This is how the elite become the elite, and then they end up treating everyone like slaves and having this God complex because they think they're so much smarter. And the only difference between them and you is patience, forethought, and fortitude. So everything came crashing down for retail in 1980, 1981 because they went out and bought gold at the top. Right now, retail is about to move into gold, and that is the scary spot. It's going to bring gold higher. And in 2026, what's going to happen is in the first week or 2 weeks of January, Wall Street is going to have a meltdown phase similar to what happened, but on a much bigger scale than when FTX closed their doors in the fall of a couple years ago. And Wall Street had a panic attack because they found out what banks were. And it just started with Silvergate, La Jolla, and the contagion spread to SVB and then many other banks that year. That was our 2005 mortgage crisis moment. I believe in 2026, you're going to see a lot of banks fall. You're going to see depositors' money taken. You need to start really looking at FDIC insurance limits because trust me, the FDIC will make good on that while Trump's here. I'm telling you right now. If you've got more than the FDIC insured limit, go start a different bank account. I think it's going to be an amazing time to be in cash and not in gold, because for a short spaz out panic period, like 6 months, let's say, cash will absolutely be king. That's why you've seen this latest turnaround in the last 35, 40 days in dollars value. And when dollars go up at the same time gold goes up, that's not good. Okay, that's a bad thing, and that's a great sign for all of us to watch. And again, I'm not asking you or telling you, or I'm a dude that makes videos in his truck. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say sell your gold, but I would be looking at asset classes, because here's the other thing. These YouTubers have pumped you so full of hopium that the dollar is going to go on a gold standard. It will never, ever, ever go on a gold standard. Please do me a favor, guys. Type 100 if you agree with that. And the reason why it's important to understand that, because these YouTubers, they sell you gold through their affiliate links that, oh, it's going to get revalued. No, it's not going to do that. The reason why is because it's different than the only time it had been revalued from 25 to 35 or whatever the numbers were. I'm blanking out right now. I'm live. But because we are the world's reserve currency, we weren't back then. And that would handcuff the money printers. I believe what you're going to see is a backdoor way of leasing out the gold during a heightened time of price rise to other countries secretly, because I honestly don't believe that all the gold is in Fort Knox. And I think what's going to happen is the U.S. government is going to figure out a way of secretly leasing that gold out or selling it and buying up specific cryptocurrencies that they will dominate then the worldwide, like Ethereum market, let's say, or Bitcoin market. I think you're about to see a massive transition from certain exchanges in Asia to certain exchanges in America. I think that you are going to see a lot of transition, and it's not going to happen in the gold market. I believe you are going to see paper longs get completely wiped out in the silver market. And I believe there's a specific time point in which it will be an amazing opportunity to transition from Bitcoin into silver. And we will be able to suck up all of the physical silver in the country and quite possibly the world. This channel represents something that has nothing to do with me. All right. I really want you to understand this. This channel represents a movement of human beings around the world that are fed up with the elites that are pushing horrible satanic narratives on our children, on our families. And they can do that because they have the money. They have the advertising, they have all that stuff. We're about to take it all from them. Now, when I say we're about to take it all, this could still play out over the next 6 months to a year. But the thing is, the truth is, every one of you if you're becoming wealthier because you've been getting out of debt or buying assets in the last 4 years, can you do me a favor? Just put up any kind of emoji out there. Just put an emoji or a 1,000. And as if you're not one of those people, go look down below at the comments and it may blow your mind because around the world, people are preparing for this event and they've been becoming wealthier by getting out of debt, which is a system employed by Satan. And they have been buying assets, which is a system that's been put out there by the one that created this earth and created you, God, Yeshua. See, owning assets are the most important thing you can do for your finances. Pure ownership, right? That's why 4 years ago I talked about the ownership of gold and silver, owning it, not just for wealth accumulation and for the digits going up, but to change your mindset. That's why I told one of my best friends yesterday, I don't care what the silver price does. I will always hold a core position in silver and in gold because that is the money of kings. All right. And as I have the money of kings, it holds my mind together when it comes to my portfolio. So when Jamie Dimon says, I wouldn't own it because it costs too much, he doesn't understand the value of being the king. All right. He understands the value of being wealthy, but you understand that without wisdom and knowledge, money is meaningless because you'll never know how to secure it. You'll never know how to grow it. You'll never know how to change the world with it. Because in the end, when you die, that's all that matters. Did you leave this world better than when you came into it? I think a lot of you want to say, that is my goal, but we're falling short sometimes. So we have to understand where we are. Gold is more overbought and in a mania than during 1980, and retail hasn't even gotten here yet. Look at the asset classes that are depressed right now and get ready for those. Gold is going to fall in 2026. It can go a lot higher from here till then, okay? But I'm telling you, focus your eyes not on the shiny object that's going up. Don't sell all your precious metal because you want a core position of God's money, that frequency running through your portfolio. But the thing is that you want to understand where we're truly at, and that's where we are. Okay. I think that paper longs in gold and silver are going to get crushed. I think we're going to find out in the first quarter of next year that the government did some interesting balance sheet transactions, and they now own uh, more crypto than they own in gold. Only time will tell. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.